The single word that comes to mind is freedom. Out there, it's clear cut. You go off on that boat by yourself and you have a destination where you either get there or you don't. There's an immediacy of experience, and there's freedom too, the beauty and the solitude that's out there. About 1,000 miles to go. I don't like all this chaos, but it goes with the experience. I was born in St. Louis, grew up in a suburb. I was closest to my father's mother, that grandmother. When I was in my early teens, they bought a little beach shack on San Diego's Mission Beach, 3 in from the ocean. So I spent my summers with them every summer in high school, and it probably saved my life. I looked out of that ocean and thought it was beautiful and pure. I saw sailboats going by, and I said, I'm going to do that. And I was the first American to go alone around Cape Horn. This is December 12th, 1975, a date that I obviously will always remember. I'm the one who broke Chichester's record. 202 days and some hours in a 37-foot boat I bought myself, an engineless 37-foot boat. I'm used to being alone, and being out there, that just was never a problem. The longest passage I've made is on that first circumnavigation with just 2 stops. I left San Diego on October 18th of 1975, and I didn't touch land again until March the 16th of 76. During that 5 months, that meant I was in 4 Force 12 storms, including a full-on cyclone in the Tasman. So it's not all good, but the experience itself is wonderful. Mid-70s through the mid-90s, I was in a survival situation almost every year. One night, about 300 miles from land, I hit something, the boat pitchforked, somersaulted, threw me out. It had flotation in it, so it wouldn't sink, but it was swamped. Well, I pumped up the inflatable, tied them together, and started drifting. We were in the Southeast Trades, lived on 6 sips of water and a half a can of tuna fish and a vitamin pill a day. Coconut came by one day, I drifted by and I jumped over and got it. I was able to break over in that coconut, and I remember thinking, this is another week of life, just this coconut alone. I was confident I would reach land, and I thought I would in 14 days. Couldn't control the drift anyway. When I got ashore, I had staph infections, ulcers in my legs from the exposure in the water. They flew me, I went to one island and put me in the hospital there, and I weighed under 130 pounds. There is a great deal to be said for perseverance. If you quit, you've lost. So that was one.
Pointed 290, 300.
The 36-foot boat Resurgam sank off of Fort Lauderdale in August of '92. So I go into the water at 3 o'clock one morning, and I do not expect to survive. I was completely calm, and I floated just waiting for the ocean to take me. And I feel something on this thigh. I look down and here's this little fish who's taking a tentative nibble to see whether this is edible. The animal instinct to stay alive started swimming for shore. I have no idea how far I'm off, but I'm 10 miles or more. And I started swimming and kept it up, was changing strokes and things. Waves are breaking over my face and into my mouth. After a while, they became like daggers. I'm going slower and slower. I was just going to try to make it till dawn. And then I look over to the left and I see a light that looks like an anchor light or something. So I went toward the light, and as I get closer, there's a fishing boat, a trawler kind, a 40-footer. So I yelled the traditional help and yelled again, and all of a sudden a light comes up on the deck and I hear somebody yell, "Is there somebody there?" And they grabbed me and pulled me on. And they said, "What happened?" I said, "My boat sank off of Fort Lauderdale." And they said, "Fort Lauderdale?" They were surprised because I was off of a place called Sebastian Inlet, about 130 miles north of Fort Lauderdale. I didn't swim that. The Gulf Stream took me up there. So almost dying is a hard way to make a living. People think I'm courageous because I do things they would be afraid to do. But I'm not afraid to go out to the ocean in a small boat. I'm at home out there. I wanted to do something similar to what epics were of the American West and of ancient Greece. Whether I have or not, as I say, is a matter of opinion, but at least I dared to think I could and have tried.
This is Gannett, my Moor 24, ultralight Moor 24. She has been sailed around the world. She has done over 30,000 miles. She has been in 2 55-knot gales. Her masthead has been in the water at least 3 times, maybe 4. She sails beautifully. This has been my home for probably more than 2 years combined time during the circumnavigation.
What I think I have is nerve. And nerve is the willingness to embark on an endeavor whose outcome is uncertain and may be fatal. Judge a man, then, by that against which he must strive. Against what, if not this soft night and the wind and sea? Against the myth he must become and his own will. The ocean waits to measure or to slay me. The ocean waits, and I will sail.